All right, we are live, and this is my initial reaction to The Umbrella Academy Season 2. Give you a little introduction to me. I'm Jake D, and I'm a lifelong nerd. I've been somebody who, since I was a young man, just, always into Star Wars, Star Trek, anything genre, really. End of the day, that's something that I have always enjoyed throughout my entire life. And, I fell in love with The Umbrella Academy when it released. I've been watching and rewatching season 1 and just heavily anticipating season 2. And we were treated to a great show when this dropped on Friday. So I'm going to go over in general my reaction to the season, talk some about my opinion on the character development, and absolutely address whether or not this show has gone woke, because I know that's something that a lot of folks have been concerned about. And it definitely had some significant potential to do that when we saw the season 2 trailer. So now, first, as we're getting started, if you're finding me for the first time, I'm a very new channel. I've just started putting out some videos. And if you like and enjoy my take on the content, I sure would appreciate it if you'd like, share, and subscribe to my videos, and tune into my live streams when you get the opportunity. Definitely going to be more. We'll be following up with some discussion with some friends in regards to our theories and thoughts about what happened through this season, where it's going to go, what the things that we saw mean. So to get started, Umbrella Academy Season 2, I have watched through the entire season once, and I'm about halfway through watching it again. And high level, I really enjoyed it. The producers and the writers have continued the good work that they did in season 1. Having never read the source material, I'm somebody who's coming into it fresh. I don't have an opinion about what they've changed because, just in reality, I'm not aware of it, not directly. I've talked with some folks that have told me about some of the things that are significantly different in the source material versus the show. And overall, I think they've done a really good adaptation based on what I understand and what I know. So season 2, of course, opens with the entire academy being warped back to the 60s. And we get an opportunity to see what they've done with their lives since that changed, as well as following the group along with an attempt to avoid doomsday. The overall production quality is still really good. They've done well with the effects, and they've done very well with the story and the characterization. So, at a high level, if you had to give this thing kind of a rating, I put her, around the 8 out of 10 regions, somewhere in that neighborhood. I really enjoyed it. I'm still very interested in the characters, what they're doing, how they're changing, how they're growing, and the overall story of them trying to save the world. Is at the end of the day, beyond just being a show about superheroes, what the Umbrella Academy does that we're not seeing from a lot of genre these days is really get you invested into the characters, who they are, what they're doing, where they're going, and the whys behind all of that. So our main cast, let's review. We've got the 7 members of the Umbrella Academy. We've got Luther, Diego, Allison, Klaus, Ben, Vanya, and the group as a whole has very solid dynamics, and that continues and works well in season 2. Luther goes through some significant changes between season 1 and season 2 because he's spent some time in the 60s. And we again get the opportunity to see him grow into a leader and really be the guy who, you want to go to for help at the end of the day. Vanya continues to get some interesting character development throughout season 2. she really has fleshed out significantly more than what we saw from her in season one. Definitely still haunted by her problems with being ostracized from the group and not truly as much of a part of it as the other 6 members. Diego becomes obsessed when he's transported back to the 60s, and he's got again, in his mind, sort of a mission that he's created for himself to give his life meaning. And how he rolls through that and the decisions that he makes and what he sees as his own motivation is really, really interesting work. I love the character of Diego in this season. The events that he goes through and experiences feel very natural to me. They feel it makes sense, right? I mean, it is who I see Diego as. Allison also has some very significant changes. In some ways, some of the most significant of any of the characters in the entire show between season 1 and season 2. She becomes involved with the civil rights movement, which, to me felt very natural and made sense given the character and the timeline that she was put in. And I liked how that was presented. I did like her role in that, and I liked the conflict that her involvement in the civil rights movement generated throughout the show. Overall, it felt really good, and I liked how it was done. Klaus was a little tough in this season. He did remain, really good comic relief and a change of pace throughout the show, which was a lot of the purpose that he served in season 1. And he was honestly a bit of a disappointment for me in season 2 because we really didn't see a lot of character growth out of Klaus. In some ways, we saw a regression in his character. And overall, I don't know that he was used as well as he could have been. I think, what the writers and the directors were going for and how they were portraying him. I would have liked to see more development and advancement as opposed to what we got. He did a good job showing how he's haunted by his past. However, it left me wanting more and to see him become a better man that, to an extent, we didn't really get from the show. And again, that was a disappointment because for me, he really was my favorite among all the various different characters during season 1. Of course, Ben ends up having a significant role in the season as well. And Ben was very, very interesting to me, how he was used, what he did throughout the season. And it was good. I really enjoyed an opportunity to see his character deeper. And, he's still there. He's still a person. He still has feelings, thoughts, and motivations, which, given the fact that he's a ghost, of course, is, a bit of a novel way to play through a main character in the show. And that, of course, leaves us with number 5, whom I think most people would say is their favorite character in the show. And he definitely continues to play that role and really take the lead in pushing the story through and being, the one character who in some ways is the most motivated to save the world and save his family. 5 introduces us early in the season to the doomsday that's attempting to be avoided, and works really hard, throughout the 10-episode run to make sure that that doesn't happen and that his family is safe. So, number 5 he's really fun. He continues to do the young man who plays him is a wonderful actor, continues to do a great job of really making the viewer buy into the fact that this is a 58-year-old man trapped in this 13-year-old's body. The kid is just a really good actor. I love him. The way that he goes through the entire season is just excellent. He is, at the same time respected, but also to an extent rejected by the other members of the Academy. And it is played really well. Both trusting him and distrusting him at the same time throughout the season is just really effective. All right. And, again, just a favorite character who really shines, honestly, throughout the season. One of the things that is new for season 2 that we didn't get to see a lot of in season 1 was an expansion of showing us just what the powers of the various different characters are. And this is a moment early in the first episode that we really get to see just what it is that these guys do. Considering it's in the first 10 minutes of the show, I don't really see it as a spoiler to talk about the fact that we get to see their powers in really, really strong action. I mean, Luther takes a shot from an RPG in the back and, seems to hurt him a little bit in the sense of, ouch, that's kind of painful, but no damage to the guy. I mean, he is just an absolute tank. Vanya shows some significant increases in control of what she can do. And again, some new evolutions to exactly what that is. The Diego is one of the ones that we really get to see some cool updates and really learn more of what his power is, which is really the ability to manipulate the trajectory of, any kinetic object. And seeing him do that in the first episode is just really, really good. So lots of development from that sense in terms of everybody growing in their strength and their power and their control. Even number 5 gets to experience some improvements to what he can do, despite still being limited by, even as he put it, running out of gas on occasions. So again, really good work there. I do wish we had had the opportunity to see more of it, though, because while we get some really good scenes with the use of their powers, it's not a lot. It's a bit limited. It leaves the viewer wanting more at the end of the day. Now, to be fair, the show is more about who they are as opposed to what they can do. So, I mean, I understand the choices. I still just wanted a little bit more. Mary's commented that, she thinks one of the most interesting characters is Diego's crazy girlfriend. So Lila is, very mysterious. She's, latched onto Diego and the group. And she's a lot of fun. There's a lot of mystery surrounding her character. And what we learn about her by the end of the season really, was unexpected to me. And a lot of fun. And again, I don't want to get into spoilers, so I can't talk too much about that. But definitely a favorite character of the season. A lot of fun. And just interesting, right? I mean, she's really somebody that you truly, truly like. As I'm coming to the close, 'cause I want to keep this short, no more than 20, 25 minutes. Something that I think has been on a lot of people's minds is, did the Umbrella Academy Season 2 go woke? When we saw the trailer, I think a lot of people got a little bit concerned that instead of being a good show, it was going to start marching hard into identity politics and really sort of hammer that kind of hard messaging that we've seen with a lot of our genre lately. And, I'm happy to report that no, the show did not go woke. And I think it's important that we emphasize that woke is not the use of the uh, LGBTQ and diversity and things like that in storytelling. That's not what woke is. Woke is taking those things and making your show mainly about the messaging and hammering home those hard social justice messages at the expense of the storytelling. So, do we see things that had extreme potential to go woke during season two? You bet we do. There's, of course, we are in 1963, which is a big part of the civil rights movement in the United States. And had the writers wanted to go a woke direction, the potential was there. They didn't do it, though. They absolutely showed us some very powerful scenes related to civil rights. They showed us some powerful scenes related to uh, lesbian, gay, queer community, things of that nature. But they were very, very natural to the story. The characters that were a part of those things, they felt normal, they felt good, and it really was who they were. And while those elements are in the story, make no question, this was done right. This is how you present diversity. This is how you present, issues with social justice in a way that's palatable to the general audience. And I was so happy to see that because, I'm not going to lie, I was worried about that. It was a concern because we've seen a lot of our genre get bogged down in messaging before story, and Umbrella Academy did not do that. There's going to be some folks who feel like it did, I'm sure, but for me, that wasn't there, and it was a good, solid story, which is what I care about more than anything else. So, in terms of talking to you about how I'm feeling about the show, how it went, what they did, this is probably the extent I can get into without beginning to talk about significant spoilers. So, I think we'll go ahead and wrap the broadcast at this. Before I go, though, if you're watching this on replay and you enjoyed the content, I do encourage you to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the future, including rebranding, a little bit higher production quality, and hopefully more of you to join me along this journey. Thank you.